Our tutorial today is a 3-milk cake. Our ingredients will be as follows. Half a cup of either margarine or butter at room temperature, 1 cup of sugar, 5 eggs separated. I have the egg yolks here, and then I will beat the egg whites later on to incorporate into the batter. 1½ cups of all-purpose flour, to which I have added half a tablespoon of baking powder and a pinch of salt, and half a cup of milk, and 1 teaspoon vanilla. I have already greased and floured my cake pan, and I've also turned my oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. I start the process by beating the egg whites until it forms peaks. Next, cream, butter, and sugar. Now we will add the egg yolks one by one and mix. Now let's add the vanilla to the milk and start mixing in the dry ingredients and the milk, alternating them. We will start with the dry ingredients and we will finish adding the dry ingredients. So now it's time to fold in the egg whites into the batter. We start by pouring in a little bit more than half or less and just fold it in into the batter. Then we will add the rest. We will not use the mixer. We will do this by hand. Okay, so now the batter is ready to be poured into the cake pan. Okay, so now we are ready to pour in our batter into our cake pan. Please do not overfill the cake pan. Do not pour in more than halfway the height of your cake pan, because when you do this, most likely there is a crown that will be formed in the middle of your cake, or your cake will sink in. Okay, this is it. We are now ready to start baking. Okay, so here is my cake. After 25 minutes, I checked for doneness by inserting a thin knife through the center of the cake. Then when I pulled out the knife came out clean. This was an indication that the cake was done. To get an even softer cake, I let it rest for 5 minutes, then I wrapped it with a plastic bag. This will make the cake sweat and all the humidity is going to concentrate within the cake and the cake will be even softer. Alright, so now we will prepare the mixture to pour over our cake. I have half a cup of evaporated milk, half a cup of light cream, and half a cup of sweetened condensed milk. Also 1 teaspoon of rum extract and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. We will now blend in all the ingredients and then we will refrigerate it for about 20 minutes. Now you take a fork and poke holes all throughout the cake. This way the milk mixture will go through and the cake will absorb all the milk. Continue poking holes throughout the entire cake. Let me point out that it's very important that you cool your cake before you do this. Cake should be completely cool. Now we will pour the milk over the cake spoon by spoon so that way the milk will go through the holes that we made before and the cake will absorb all the liquid. After the cake has been completely covered with milk, I will then refrigerate the cake for at least 2 hours, no less than that. We need to refrigerate it so that way the cake will absorb the milk. After 2 hours of being in the refrigerator, this is how my cake looks. I had poured over the entire amount of milk over this cake, and this is how it has absorbed all the liquid. If you can see, there is no running liquid milk or anything like that. Everything has to be absorbed by the cake, just like this. For this cake, I've chosen to make a vanilla whipped cream frosting. If you notice, my bowl is frosted because I left it in the freezer for a few minutes. All your utensils that you are going to use needs to be chilled before you use them. Even your whisker, even your measuring cups, everything needs to be chilled first. For this whipped cream, I will use 2 cups of heavy cream, 2 to 5 tablespoons of granulated sugar, 1 teaspoon of rum extract, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Pour in your heavy cream into your mixing bowl. Start whisking the heavy cream at a medium speed. After whisking for a few minutes, you will then add the sugar little by little. You will continue to whisk until the milk forms soft peaks. As soon as it starts forming soft peaks, you will add the vanilla and the rum extracts. Whisk again until it starts forming stiff peaks. Stop the mixer and finish whisking by hand. Make sure that you do not over whisk your cream, otherwise it will start to form a butter-like substance and you will not be able to spread the frosting over your cake. I will now spread the frosting over the cake very quickly because you don't want this frosting to get warm, otherwise it will get liquidy. So it is important that we do this quickly. Like I said before, we need to work very quickly when frosting this cake with whipped cream because we do not want the whipped cream to get warm. Once I frost and decorate the cake, I will put it in the refrigerator until it's time to serve it. To better show you the decoration that I put over on top of the cake, I'll show you on this plate. It was just like a rosette that I made going like this. Very simple. That's all I did for the top of the cake. Alright, so here is the finished product. A 3-milk or tres-leches cake covered with whipped cream frosting. Very easy to make. Also, I made a giant rosette on top of the cake for decoration, topped with a fondant flour. This has been all for today. I hope that you learned something. Please share and subscribe to my channel. Until next week, God bless.